Holy smokes, royal watchers. If you thought the Sussex saga couldn't get any more dramatic, think again. I'm Adrian, and you're watching Meghan and Harry Tales, where today we're diving headfirst into what might just be the royal bombshell of the year. Are you ready for this? Prince Harry could be heading back to Balmoral. Yes, you heard that right. Balmoral, and King Charles himself has allegedly given the green light for what insiders are calling secret peace talks. Picture this jaw-dropping scenario. The prodigal prince, who hasn't set foot in the Scottish Highlands since his dramatic royal exit in 2020, might be trading his California sunshine for the misty moors of Balmoral. And here's the kicker: this potential reunion is happening during one of the most emotionally charged weekends of the year, coinciding with the third anniversary of beloved Queen Elizabeth's passing on September 8th, right when Harry's already planned to be in the UK for the WellChild Awards. Folks, if this happens, we're not just talking about a family visit, we're talking about a seismic shift that could rewrite the entire royal playbook. So buckle up, because today we're unpacking every juicy detail of what could be the reconciliation story of the decade. Let's start with what's been happening behind the scenes, because this story isn't just about a simple family visit. According to our sources, there have been secret meetings taking place between King Charles's aides and Prince Harry's representatives in London. These weren't casual encounters. Folks, these were deliberate, strategic discussions about the future. Grant Harrold, former royal butler, who served King Charles for 7 years when William and Harry were younger, has been sharing some incredible insights with GB News. And when I say he knows this family, I mean he really knows them. He was there during the boys' formative years, watching them grow up within the palace walls. Harrold revealed something quite telling. What we've seen is speculation that he's going to see his father. But the fact that the king, it was a month ago when the advisors all got together, so there's something going on, there's definitely something going on. Now, think about that for a moment. A month ago, that timing is crucial. This wasn't a spur-of-the-moment decision. This has been planned, discussed, and carefully orchestrated. When royal advisors get together for secret meetings, you know something significant is brewing. But here's what really caught my attention in Harold's statement: his certainty that the king wants resolution. He said, "I know what the king's like. He likes everyone to be happy. He likes everyone to get on, so you can guarantee the king, without question, wants it resolved." This tells us so much about Charles as both a king and a father. Despite everything that's happened, the Oprah interview, the Netflix series, the memoir Spare, he's still reaching out to his youngest son. That's not just royal diplomacy, that's paternal love in action. Now let's talk about Balmoral itself, because this isn't just any royal residence we're discussing. Balmoral holds a special place in the hearts of the royal family, and particularly for Harry. This is where he spent countless summers as a child, where he learned to fish, hunt and connect with the Scottish countryside that his family loves so deeply. Grant Harrold painted a beautiful picture of what Harry's connection to Balmoral means. "I think Harry would probably love to spend time at Balmoral. I think he would love to go up there and be on the farm in his element." Can you imagine it? Harry back in his element, away from the cameras, the scrutiny, the constant media attention. Balmoral represents something pure. For the royals, it's their sanctuary, their place of genuine family connection. It's where they can just be themselves, without the weight of crown and ceremony. But Harold also acknowledged the complexity of the situation. "I just don't know with everything that's gone on, because it could be awkward." And that's the understatement of the century, isn't it? The last time Harry was at Balmoral, as a working royal, he was still the spare to the heir, still part of the firm, still believing in the institution he was born into. Now he's the author of a best-selling memoir that exposed intimate family details. The husband who sat beside Meghan during that explosive Oprah interview. The son who chose love and independence over duty and tradition. The dynamics have shifted entirely. If this visit happens, it would mark the first time Harry has joined the royal family at the Scottish estate since stepping back from royal life in 2020. That's not just a visit, that's a homecoming after a 4-year absence that has been filled with more drama than a Netflix series. Let's put ourselves in King Charles's shoes for a moment. Here's a man who waited over 70 years to become king, who has always been deeply committed to family unity, and who now finds himself in the impossible position of balancing his role as monarch with his love as a father. Harold gave us incredible insight into Charles's mindset. I know what the king's like. He likes everyone to be happy. He likes everyone to get on. This isn't just about royal protocol or public relations. This is about a father who wants his family whole again. But here's where it gets really interesting. Harold was very clear that reconciliation doesn't necessarily mean Harry would return to royal duties. He said, "I think the king will want some sort of peaceful resolution." Notice that phrase, peaceful resolution, not necessarily a return to the fold, not a complete reversal of the Sussexes' decision to step back, but peace. That's incredibly telling about where Charles's head is at. He's not trying to force Harry back into a role that clearly wasn't working for him. He's not demanding that his son abandon the life he's built in California with Meghan and their children. He's simply reaching out as a father who wants his son back in his life. The timing of this potential visit is also deeply symbolic. September 8th marks 3 years since Queen Elizabeth II's passing, and Harry is already planning to be in the UK for the WellChild Awards. The Queen was always the family's anchor, the one person everyone respected and loved unconditionally. Her absence has left a void, but it's also created an opportunity for healing. Think about it. The last time the entire family was together was likely at the Queen's funeral. What a heavy, sorrowful occasion that was. How different it would be for them to come together at Balmoral, her beloved sanctuary, not in mourning, but in an attempt at reconciliation. Now, we can't talk about Harry's potential return to Balmoral without addressing the elephant in the room, his relationship with his brother, Prince William. The script here refers to William as the future king and Harry as William's younger brother, which really emphasises the shift in their dynamic. These aren't just brothers anymore. They're the heir and the spare who chose different paths. William has embraced his destiny as future king, taking on more responsibilities, supporting his father, and positioning himself as the steady, reliable future of the monarchy. Harry, on the other hand, has chosen authenticity over duty, speaking his truth even when it hurt the institution. The question everyone's asking is, could they actually sit at the same dinner table at Balmoral? Could they walk the grounds where they once played as children? Could they find their way back to each other as brothers, setting aside the prince and the future king roles? Harold seemed cautiously optimistic, saying, "It's not impossible." That would be a very clear indication that things are definitely going in the right direction. But notice his choice of words, "not impossible." That's hardly a ringing endorsement, is it? It suggests that while there's hope, there's also recognition of how deep the rifts have become. The brother dynamic is perhaps the most heartbreaking aspect of this entire saga. These were two boys who lost their mother together, who walked behind her coffin together, who supported each other through the darkest moments of their lives. To see them now, separated by an ocean and seemingly insurmountable differences, is genuinely tragic. So what would it actually mean if Harry does make this trip to Balmoral? Let's think about the implications, because this goes far beyond just a family visit. First, it would signal that King Charles is serious about healing these family wounds. It would show that he's willing to extend an olive branch, to create a space for dialogue and connection. That takes courage, especially when you're the head of an institution that values stability and tradition above all else. Second, it would demonstrate that Harry is open to reconciliation on some level. Remember, his last visit to the UK in April was purely legal. He didn't see any family members. But if he's willing to go to Balmoral, to step into that deeply personal family space, it suggests he's ready for something more meaningful than just formal interactions. Third, it could pave the way for his children, Archie and Lilibet, to have a relationship with their grandfather and their British heritage. These children are part of the royal bloodline, but they've been largely absent from royal life. A reconciliation between Harry and his father could open doors for them to understand their heritage, even if they're not working royals. But let's be realistic about what this wouldn't mean. As Harold pointed out, reconciliation doesn't equal a return to royal duties. Harry and Meghan have built a life in California. They have business commitments, charitable work, and a level of freedom they never had as working royals. This potential visit isn't about undoing the last 4 years, it's about finding a way forward that honours both Harry's choices and his family connections. The royal insider's comments reveal the complexity of the situation, but I do think he will. I think he will. I think if his father wants to see him, then he will see him. There's uncertainty there, but also hope. There's recognition that this is uncharted territory for everyone involved. As we wrap up today's episode, I keep coming back to one central truth. This is ultimately a story about family. Yes, it's wrapped up in royal protocol, media attention, and institutional concerns, but at its heart, it's about a father who wants to see his son, and a son who might be ready to come home, even if just for a visit. The next few weeks could be pivotal for the royal family. Will Harry make that journey to Balmoral? Will the brothers find a way to bridge their differences? Will King Charles succeed in his apparent mission to bring some peace to his fractured family? We'll be watching closely, and I'll be here to break down every development as it happens. Thank you for joining me on Meghan and Harry Tales. I'm Adrian, and until next time, remember, even royal families are just families at the end of the day, trying to find their way back to love and understanding. Keep following the story, keep the conversation going, and we'll see you next time.